my scrappy friends! I have a fun layout for you today, and this layout is for a challenge that I am leading on the Victoria Marie Facebook page group. If you're not a part of that group, this group is a whole bunch of scrappers who do tons of challenges. There's a design team now, which Victoria Marie picked out, and each of us come up with a challenge. There's a challenge on Wednesday and there's a challenge for the weekend. So this is going to be for the weekend challenge, and I am challenging everyone to do a layout that is about a celebration. This weekend we are celebrating the fact that my daughter has her last chemo pill, so her last chemo dose after 2 years, and it got me thinking about celebrating and how a lot of times this time of the year I think of summer as a celebrating time because a lot of people get married and graduations, and I thought that while I was thinking about something that I was celebrating, that it would be fun to have other people pull out pictures that they haven't scrapped that is about celebration. So it could be a birthday, it could be just a personal milestone that you celebrated, it could be a wedding, anything. Now this is going to be a layout of my middle daughter, Cayden, her birthday. I am really, really bad about scrapping birthdays. Like, really bad. I mean, I know I haven't been scrapping very long, but it is not one of the first things that I think of when I want to scrap. And I don't know if it's because I really like to do that, to scrap day-to-day stuff. And it probably has a lot to do with just getting through and pushing through this part of our life as far as trying to feel more normal, and scrapping day-to-day stuff where the kids are playing and the kids are laughing and smiling. It just reminds me that our life is very much normal, even though we have chemo and doctor's appointments and all that stuff. So scrapping holiday, I scrapped Christmas, but really holidays in general, I just haven't scrapped much of. So I pulled some pictures that I took from my daughter's birthday, and her birthday was in February. So, like I said, this is not a new photo, but that photo is of the cake pops that we ended up making, which do not look like cake pops. I mean, they're cute, but oh my gosh, this was an experience. We were really supposed to be making a tie-dye cake, and that didn't turn out, so we decided, hey, let's try some cake pops. And because it was tie-dye, the cake colors all meshed together. Ugh. And then I tried to cover it with chocolate, and it just was not working. And I'm not used to baking not working for me. So my daughter thought that they were cute and fun, and she loved it. So in the end, that's all that matters. And I love the bright colors in these cake pops. So these are what got me inspired to use the colors that I did. So I took that crepe paper, journey paper, with the black and white and the hexagon-y triangle type whatever design that is, almost Native American. And I used just some inks and mixed a little water in it, and I watercolored with them. So that's what you've seen me do. I did not use gesso on it at all. I believe that background paper is from the Craft Market line. So yeah, that wood grain with the dipped look, which I didn't care for the dipped look of that. I mean, it was okay, but I just love that gorgeous wood grain, and I was kind of upset that they covered it up. But it is what it is. So that crepe paper that I watercolored is a good match for that. I think. And so down here at the bottom, I'm just working on some layers to fill up the rest of that space. I didn't have a full sheet of that black and white paper, so this is what I'm going to do. And I thought it would be fun to just kind of play with some layers. I'm going to be using some of the confetti paper, like I have the hats from the confetti 6x6 pad. And that blue teal color is just plain cardstock. And then I have this other sheet from the 6x6 paper pad that I also used some of the watercolor on. I didn't show you guys that, but I did do that. And it's the same colors from the inks that I have. And so I'm just going to put them along the sides there. I'm just kind of trying to create something visually appealing, but that is cute. And I thought the watercolor looked nice down there because it kind of mimicked what I was doing up, what I did up in the front, or up top, I should say. And I'm using that washi tape, and this is something I do. If I have a small piece that I know is going to go all over the place, once I start cutting it, it will move it. So if I use a little washi tape, it will help it stay. I'm sure other people have done this, but it's just something I do. So I know, I think I fussed around with this for a while. Had to make it perfect. And I got my ruler out, and I actually got my grid mat out because I was trying to get it even, and just every once in a while I get to that really perfectionist state, but I need to have it like perfect with the lines all lined up. So that's why that mat's out. It's okay. So I think at this point I'm thinking about what I want to layer in there. I had picked out some pieces from a 6x6 pad from the Simple Stories So Fancy collection, which is a newer collection that just came out by Simple Stories. And it is girl themed, and it has a lot of like pinks and purples and teals, and it's really colorful. It's really cute for girls. I don't think you'd want to use it on a guy layout, but maybe you could. So it has a lot of watercolory looks, and I like it. It's different color palette that I think we've seen with a little bit of purples in it. So it works perfect with this layout. And then I used some of the cut aparts from the 6x6 confetti pad too. So I'm just like kind of tucking them in, and I'm gonna glue them down, and I edge everything. I edge it mostly with like that teal color, but then I use a little bit of purple as well. So I let everything hang off the layout because I figure after I'm done with this stage, I can just cut it all off and make it even and have it be that way. So that one says happy birthday since it's for a birthday. And here I'm going to cut it. As you can see, it hung off. And I knew that some of the stuff was going to get cut. So I did try to think about that when I was putting them on, that some of it was going to get cut off so that I didn't let it hang down too low, so I didn't cut off most of the words that I thought I wanted to be able to be seen, but it didn't need to be perfect either. I like that some of the stuff is cut in like the middle of it. And so now I'm just figuring out what I want to layer with my photo, where I want to put my photo. So I picked that paper from the 6x6 pad, and that's just like a pink watercolory paper from the Simple Stories. And then I'm going to make some flags. So this kind of jumps around a little bit because it took me a while to cut the flags, and a lot of it was off screen, so I just kind of edited it. So you'll see me start it, and then you'll just see the flag done, like the banner flag. And that one is like the pom-pom things from the confetti paper. I tried to match or keep the colors that were similar from what I used in that black and white paper with the inks. I love that paper. That's like one of my favorite papers from that collection. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to use that as a layer behind my photo or if I want to use it for a banner. And I decide that I think it's a little too busy for the banner. So I'm going to cut this one out, and I think that's the one that has all the words. So I made that one and the pom-pom one a little bigger, and then these two, this is another teal one from the confetti line, and that one I'm going to cut smaller. So I think that one and the other one from the craft market were like 1 inch to 1.5 inch, and then these other two were closer to 2 inches. So I'm just going to kind of tape them together a little bit. I'm trying not to put too much tape because I was not sure exactly how I was going to use them, like if I was going to cut it or not, and I didn't want too much glue to like goop up my scissors. And then I'm going to rip 2 sides on this. And this one I go front and back because I want to be able to see a little bit of the white, but I also want it to not show all of the white. So that's why I did it that. And I like to use my metal ruler when I rip paper because I feel like it gets a straighter edge. And I generally don't rip my papers because I really do like that clean look of the straight cut edge. But I thought it would be kind of fun to do that, and I did end up cutting that, as you just seen. I thought that it needed just a little bit more sticking off the edges, but I didn't want it hanging off too much. So at this point, I'm looking through to find black and white papers because I'm thinking that I want a black and white behind everything to help the banners and the photo just pop just a little bit more because of all the colors that are behind it. I feel like it's getting a little lost. And so I thought about using that one, but I wasn't sure. Like, I almost thought it was a little too busy because the dots were a little close together. And then I was looking through some of the papers that I have, and I found this triangle paper that is from Webster's Pages, and that's the cut apart sheet. It's from their like calendar collection. And I really like the black and white, and I like that the white is really stark. And it has triangles, which kind of match with the geometric prints. So I'm going to go with that one. And I'm going to edge that too. And I had a bigger sheet of it, but I really liked the 4x6 card. It's like the perfect size to have everything housed underneath. And then here I'm adding another layer, and this is triangle that are gold in a washi tape, and this is by Pink Fresh Studios. This was in their kit, I think, last month. So, and it's very transparent, so it kind of blends in. Like, I know on my screen it's really hard to see the gold. In real life you can see it a little bit, but it's just like really faint, and I like that. It just adds one more layer of something fun, and I like that it's gold. And so then I add some to the bottom because I really like it. And I'm like, I might as well. And then, of course, I add the tape. On the washi tape, that was not a good idea because it, like, half of it came off. I was like, man, waste my tape. So I'm wondering if I want to use any more of those cards. And then I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to put my title down. And it's just going to be a very unimaginative happy birthday. And then I'm going to end up writing Cayden after. So I am like really horrible most of the time when it comes to titles. I will probably end up, by the time I die and all my kids inherit all my scrapbooks, which we will not talk about what that's going to be like. I might have to will them to somebody who I know isn't going to like throw them all out right away. But there's going to be like 10 happy birthday layouts, or, hi summer, I don't know. So I'm using the poolside because there's a little bit of gold, and so with the teal and the gold, and I think that the color stands out enough that you can see it, though it probably wouldn't have hurt to maybe use a black pen around all of them. The only thing about doing that is if you don't have it straight, which those tile stickers are really hard to get straight. If you don't have them straight and then you try to go around all of it, it looks kind of silly because you have like a raised part where it wasn't straight, or I know I can't get it straight most of the time. So I'm looking at these poolside, and I knew that there was a flower, and it has a little yellow, and because I have so much gold, and down at the bottom the So Fancy dot paper has yellow, I thought that it would be a good idea to bring that yellow up. And yes, it's just a little embellishment, but I think it really helps tie everything together. And I just didn't see anything else that I thought would work in this space. So I did have some gold stickers from Heidi Swapp, and I just used like the star ones, and then I put that arrow next to Cayden. And then I think this is just me pulling, oh sorry, I hit my mic, pulling out some sequins. And I didn't not show this because I took them out one by one which maybe was not too smart. But so I tried to use most of the colors that were in the papers. So I have a pink, a teal, a gold, a white, and a black star. And I just put them in a diagonal. I don't know. I got kind of sequin happy, I think. But they're just so fun. And I think I'm just about done. And I did put oh yeah, I'm going to do the roller date stamp. I realized that I wanted to add a few down to the bottom just to tie it into the top. And down there in that marquee that I used for birthday, I wrote out the date 2015. And then I am going to go back through with a date stamp and write that, stamp the date in black. So that's what I'm going to do. And my journaling is going to be at the end, like on the back, so that, because I just don't see how it's going to fit on there nicely. So it's just going to be on the back. And I'm going to do another layout 6x6 or 6x12, I think, with the other pictures that I have for this day, and I think that they'll work together nicely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys stop over at Victoria Marie's group and check us out. Have a great day. Bye.